I wonder if I should listen to some music or put some music on in the background and what would happen. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to continue experimenting with that. Uh, I can continue to experiment with my setup here, trying to make sure that I'm a little bit more organized, I suppose. Uh, and of course, always getting my thoughts organized, always trying to stay busy, trying to maintain a positive attitude, trying to stay healthy, combination and series of things. Now, just a note in case anybody's wondering. With regards to my income, I'm at below the poverty level, which I'm fine with to a certain degree, because I'm adopting or adapting, I should say, to the situation. Given my needs, number one, as far as a need goes, I certainly am not compelled to seek employment simply because of the mere fact that most of the employment opportunities really don't incentivize me in any way whatsoever. Um, you know, uh, they want to take more than they want to give, and you know, so I'm really not motivated in that particular sense. I do notice maybe I might have to do something to amplify my volume. So let me see if I can do, no, nope. I guess I just have to speak louder and hopefully I can be heard, or hopefully this volume is good enough where you can make an adjustment and take it from there. So, the title of this is, kind of finding meaning, looking at, trying to have a better understanding of the environment. And so, one of the things I almost went off track, but I'm not going to. And that almost off track means that I was talking about income and how much I have, and and specifically, below the poverty line, and blah blah blah. And I'm not going to try to make big bones about that. And how I'm getting Social Security. I decided to take it early because I didn't see. Uh, I could not justify in any way whatsoever continuing to basically let somebody exploit me. And they had decent benefits or whatever, but still, it was exploitation. And I really, and so I had an opportunity because I mean the real, and I've heard people say this often, people my age, is that the only reason they continue to work is to make sure that they had the medical benefits. And I understand that. And I certainly wanted it. And when I started working at this place, it was AAA. And I started working there. And I had decent, the benefits were okay. But I do have some issues with regards to benefits. I certainly believe that employers are responsible for paying your medical benefits, especially if you're going to dedicate 40 hours of your week, which is another point. What's entirely, but if you're going to spend, basically a third of your life, working for somebody else, and especially if you have to be in their environment, they need to pick up the tab for the medical expenses because anything that you experience is going to be exacerbated, influenced, or originate with the environment that you're being placed in. It can be psychological, it can be physical, as far as the effects that you can experience. And so, they should pick up the tab entirely. There's no reason why, if you have no benefits, if you're going in, that you should pay it. Really the only two options here for either the government to pay it, for the business to pay it. But honestly, our contribution to that should be minimal, and it's perfectly justifiable because that's what society is all about. Being a social animal is all about sort of creating something that's greater than the individual components, and we have the capacity to do that. So I'm getting off track a little bit. I also want to be mindful of the time because I know your time is important just as my time is important. And, I'm not trying to monopolize anything here. I decide not to work with anybody because I really don't see anything. No, I have a lot of interests. I don't have a singular focus. So I do see that there's a lot of things in my environment that kind of demand my attention, and there are things that are in my environment that are attempt to distract me, and so I've gotten rid of them. For example, my phone. I really don't care about my phone anymore. I mean, I really, actually, I don't. I don't care about it a lot. The internet is more of the means of communication, so I'll basically use that. I have a Google voicemail number, and so I don't necessarily see, a great need. Although I am coming up on some things, and I am going to be pulling back a little bit more, because it's important to basically manage my resources in an effective fashion. And everybody wants to get your cash. Everybody monetizes their presence in one form or another, whether they're independent or they work with, a company or anything like that. And you just have to be mindful of the places where get that you send your money to. And, I'm seeing that, of course, the people that I want to give my money to are the people that actually provide me with directly with a service, like a tattoo artist, somebody that does my nails, somebody that does my hair. Some of the things that I enjoy personally, um, and that actually benefits another person directly. And it's not like a franchise. It's not, or anything like that. The bulk of what I contribute goes to that person, and I feel good about that, rather than giving it to Walmart or any other, large corporate entity. And I think that's a natural. It's an okay. Now, I do think that there are certain services that corporations might facilitate, but I'm not thinking about that right now, and that's not something that I had thought about. So anyway, I'm going to put that to the side. So meaning, yeah, you know, and so part of what I'm just talking about is how I relate to my environment. For example, how do I relate to employers? Now, I have to admit, I've gotten into a position where I do have a cash flow independent of me, and I've earned that. I have worked incredibly hard to at least have that. And I did save, during the times. In fact, I was a chartered retirement plan counselor. So I mean, how to save for retirement and how to invest the money that's saved and what are the investment tools that are available and everything like that. Those things are not foreign to me. I was in the thick of it. In fact, what I decided to do was to use my retirement savings to start a business, and the business failed. And I had good intentions and everything like that, but good intentions aren't always, aren't what are going to get you through. And one of the things that I realize is that, well, it's a model. The models that exist out there, people complain about government constraints and not being able to do their business and blah blah. The constraints are necessary. They really are. And if you're complaining about it, maybe you don't need to be in business. Because actually, as a business, I look at it as a business as an opportunity to make a community grow. I don't see it as I don't look at the community as sort of like an oil field, and I'm going to try to pump the fuel out, the oil out of it, or extract it for my personal gain. And to, it's not about my personal gain. It's about how my surroundings improve, how things, are people happier, or, are people able to do the things that they like to do? Uh, and how do my efforts contribute to helping other people feel good? That's in essence it. But but I can't control making people feel good, but I can control the environment that I create, and that's basically it. Now, uh, again, finding meanings, very important. I like to remind myself every day that more than anything, I'm more an animal than I am human. I am organic. I'm an organic entity that interacts with its environment, and there are things in the environment that are positive, and there are things in the environment that are negative. Um, and I say this, and I have it on my description where I go by Nano Humanimal Bite on Instagram. And there is a very deliberate symbolic meaning to the name. But the core here is that I consider myself a Skinner box fugitive. What is a Skinner box? I'm going to invite you to basically go to any YouTube search and do the search for a Skinner box. And it is what it is a device that was created for the purposes of experimental psychology, using lab rats, and basically studying, observing, and but not only observing, but here's the interesting part: conditioning behavior, conditioning behavior. And how do you condition behavior? Okay, so I'm going to come back to that in another instance because I've already gone over the time that I wanted to talk about. But it is really important, to kind of get a better grasp of how it is that we interact with our environment. And our environment is not just, the things. Our environment is also the people. The environment is the internet. The environment is our family. All of the forces, the entities that we have to encounter and we become engaged with, those are the things that we need to be aware of, and be aware of our interactions and how interactions impact things. And again, finding meaning, and not just sort of saying, okay, I'm working to live. No, you don't want to work to live. You want to live. You want to live. And we do have the capacity right now. We have the capacity, really, that every single person on this planet has their basic needs met. It is completely doable if we will it into that situation. The minute we say, no, it's not possible because people are this way and people are that way, you defeat it. That's all it takes to defeat it. The only way it becomes real is by accepting it and trying to implement it. You can a person can call me whatever they want. Really doesn't matter to me. It doesn't impact me. It doesn't hurt my feelings in any respect whatsoever. People can judge whatever. They can say whatever they want to say. Really, because at the end of the day, um, the thing that I have behind me is the experience, and I know without that my experiences in life are out of the average set of experiences that people will have. And that's important because we are not a product of our environment. Well, we are and we aren't. Just like I heard Jim Carrey say, he with the biggest smile on his face, I am so angry right now. It is raging and I am destroying the world in my head. And you can see me smiling. And that's kind of how I feel. I know that shit is really bad. I know that shit is really bad. but I feel great because I am taking care of myself and I know what I have a lot of confidence in the things that I am doing in that respect and the way I look at things. So that's that for now, and I'll come back to it. A lot of times I don't kind of look back on the things that I've said. Maybe I should try to kind of keep a better log of it. But again, this is all kind of touch and feel here. This is not, sort of an implemented this plan. This is where I just get jump in the water, if you will. So take it easy, take care, stay safe. Be smart, be alert, and be healthy and do good shit.